session of Carnivore Muscle live streaming with me today on my own, probably. Anyway, how's everyone getting on? If you let me know in the chat how you're doing, comment where you're from as well. That might be quite cool. So I'm going through my website email list actually recently, and trying to work out where my demographic was coming from. It turns out about 40% of my customers are from the US, about 15 to 20% from the UK, maybe 10% from Canada. Then the rest was scattered in different European countries, New Zealand, Japan, Australia. You know, it's quite phenomenal, really, when you think about it. You know, I'm connecting with people all over the world. It just seems bizarre to me. Anyway, if you guys have any questions in the chat, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them from there. So we've got me in the chat. Hello. Fancy that. We've also got Kimberly here. Thanks for joining, Kimberly. If you've got any questions, let me know in the chat. Lovely lady. She actually got a very interesting story, if anyone was curious. You can find her at Kimberly Russell on Instagram. If she types in her or has a link to her Instagram, I can always type that in on her behalf and put it on the screen. So yeah, feel free to do that. She's from Tennessee, which I think is like London in comparison to the US. No, it's not. No, I think Tennessee, I think, is one of the southern states, I believe. I know my geography quite well, but I'm not exact, you know. Anyway, got the lovely Mrs. Edens on today. Or catch replay at hospital with daughter colitis. Sorry to hear that. That's real crap. Honestly. Well, hopefully she's on a better way of eating under your tutelage, Coach Juliet. Fingers crossed for her, and I hope she gets a very quick sense of relief and recovery, if at all possible. Apologies. So when I'm clicking on these buttons, guys, the screen I can see, like the display of what you guys can see right now, is the size of maybe half my thumb. So I don't know what's coming up on the screen, but yeah, it should work. And this is my friend Kimberly's actual Instagram handle, so check her out. She's a lovely young lady. She's got 2 children. One of her children's actually got a back issues like me. A lovely husband. She's from Tennessee, as we've mentioned, and she lives with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, hypermobility, and she believes it's a bit of a rigmarole at the moment, but it's got like some sort of lymphedema sort of issue. But anyway, she's doing a lot of training now. She's getting better and better each week, it seems like, and I'm glad to have her on board for sure. Yes, I live in the south. Thank heavens. And we've got the lovely Florence. Sorry, guys, my tongue's a bit wobbly today. Sorry, we've got the lovely Florencia Perez in today. I believe she's from Argentina. She, I think, has a YouTube channel, or her sister does, which she also collaborates on. So you can probably find her on there somehow. But yeah, that's her Instagram profile if you wanted to get in touch with her. I don't speak the same language as her, unfortunately, but she speaks impeccable English. Honestly, I sent her these plans and things, and I think that's quite simple for people to read, but I can see easily how someone could get that wrong. But she's completely on board. She knows exactly what I'm rambling on about, which is really cool. So thank you for joining tonight. And if you do have any questions, guys, please post them in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. I'm not the most prepared today because I've just set up my laptop, so I've actually got the ring light. It's all good now, so the lighting should be fine. The microphone you can see next to me just here. I've not got it optimized. I've not checked it, but the sound should be okay because you can see bars moving up and down the screen. Yep. Thanks for that. Yeah, but I've not got I've not got my up-to-date 4K plus camera set up yet, but it's something I'm looking forward to in the next few weeks, maybe. Just have a bit better viewing. I mean, you know, this is mainly a talking point show. It's not a visual thing, but yeah. Anyway, what should I go on about now? I guess my training stuff at the moment. So probably the most recent update is I've got a new coach. His name's Dan McNab. You can find him on Instagram as Big, Pale and Nasty. That's paying homage basically to one of Dorian Yates's old trainers. And that was Leroy Davis, I think his name was. He's an older gentleman now. He's probably a little bit older than Dorian, maybe, and he's like his training partner basically. And if you ever watch Dorian Yates' training videos, this guy's saying, "Come on, let's get nasty. Come on," all this sort of stuff with like a northern or Midlands accent, I guess. I don't know. It's quite sort of inspiring. It sort of makes you shit yourself a little bit. Like, this guy's gonna wreck me if I don't do this last rep. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's where Big, Pale and Nasty came from. So let's get nasty sort of thing. And he's a big, pale guy as well. He's a bit wacky. But he's a good coach, and he's very understanding. He sort of listens to what I have to say, and it's more of a collaboration than a here, do this, do that sort of thing. Just because my body's so dynamic in terms of what I can do each day, it's not like I can follow an exact plan, because it won't work. I'll get myself into a pit by the time the week's up, and it's not going to be a fruitful conversation, should we say. But yeah, so anyway, that's the new coach update. We're checking in with him like every month or so, probably. Then much sooner, obviously, when it comes to contest prep season. My first show, I believe, will be the end of May, hopefully. Around that sort of time. I'm looking to definitely do 4 shows in this coming year in the mixed disability category, which is like a walking bodybuilder category. So if you can walk but you're still disabled, you can do it, basically. Hopefully I can set my sights on those and do my best, which is inevitable. I'm not going to do the snap. No, don't worry, guys. No one's disappearing. So yeah, the training site at the moment, I was doing about 4 sessions per week. I did a few weeks stint of that, and I can't recover anymore. I trained too hard between each session. Some days were back-to-back days, which I don't advocate at all. So it wasn't fruitful, but it's good fun. I enjoy training. More times I can get in the gym, the better. But I think for me, the cutoff right now with hammer recovery is about 3 sessions per week. So that looks like maybe 7 to 10 total absolute sets 3 times per week. The Monday is usually my strong body part day, so it might be quads, shoulders, calves, biceps, something like that. I don't know. Then Wednesday and Saturday will be everything else. So back, hamstrings, abs, chest, and I might tackle on some triceps here or there somewhere, but it's not the biggest deal. But yeah, just trying to work out a plan I can stick to long term and at least progress from, and track and what's working or what's not. You know, so that's where I'm at right now. But there is obviously, as time's gone on, I've had to be a bit more instinctive for my training. It's not quite as regimented as it might have been in the past. So I'm still tracking things, still replicating or getting better. You know, PRs in each session, like that's still my absolute 4th most important priority. But at the same time, I give myself that leeway to say, well, it doesn't take much to keep muscle on my body. So by the time prep comes around, I shouldn't be in a bad spot, really. I've learned a lot about recovery over the last few years. And I really think it's the bottleneck when it comes to bodybuilding and creating your most perfect physique. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you've got any questions, put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. Now's the time, because otherwise I'm going to be here looking at my phone in 24 hours time thinking, oh, I get to have rest now, have a bath, shower if I can, and you know, enjoy the rest of my day. Then, oh, you got 6 messages come up. Question. I know it's not live now, but I've got a question. How much protein should I eat? Then I'll link a video to protein. Then I've got this whole discussion going back and forth on socials, and before you know it, it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm not eaten. So yeah, I want to be careful with that one. But be very careful with my time. So I'm trying to accommodate to the most amount of people by having this. So people in the far end of Europe aren't asleep right now, probably, or about to go to bed maybe. Also people in the, I guess, the western side of the globe, even though it's a big ball, in the US, so I can actually accommodate to the most amount of people, I think. So that's the intention of this. Obviously, I can look at doing this in the future at different times, but we shall see. Anyway, so that's my training. I'm incorporating more isometric work now. So where in the past I might have done a drop set, sometimes now maybe I'm doing, a straight set until I can't move it in a concentric fashion any further. Then I might just be holding it there for as long as physically possible in the mid-range. So eliminates the range of motion, which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it means you can alleviate damage in the endpoints or the turnarounds of a different movement. But it's very individual. It's not a hard rule by any sense. It's just working out what you can manage and recover from. Other than that, doing some time static contraction training. So I think wall sit, maybe a push up on the ground with going halfway up, some sort of row of a very heavy weight, but like holding it in the mid-range sort of thing. Basically trying to stimulate the muscle till it shakes and I can't fucking hold it anymore. That's what it comes down to for me. And it's been quite good so far. So I actually developed some of my weaker body parts as of recent. So my back thickness improved and my hamstrings have got a bit more muscular. So I'm quite happy with that. It's all been thanks to static holds, isometric training, and moving less, funnily enough. Seems to be the story of my life right now is the less I move, the better I feel, which is sometimes quite frustrating, as I'm sure you guys can imagine if you know my history. We got Zbigniew in the chat, so thank you very much. Zbigniew is someone I would probably consider family. He's one of my closest friends online, and someone I truly care about, and someone that truly cares about me. And he's done a lot to support me over the past few months, if not years. So I just want to give him a shout out. It means a lot. And I'm bewildered every day that I get some of the help that I sometimes do, honestly. Which brings to our next topic. So last week I actually did a podcast with Mrs. Rachel Downs. She is the owner of British Bone Broth Company. I do have an affiliate link code somewhere. They sell powdered bone broth, fermented drinks. They've also got a pet line as well, which is quite cool. But they make real good quality, sort of organic farm pasture raised sort of foods, which are helpful to my diet. So I can add them to help support my collagen needs, to help build up my tissues, things like that. So yeah, and she sent me a care package recently. We had a kind of a brief discussion about religion and God and stuff and Jesus. And she actually got me this cool little bracelet. You won't be able to see it, but it says faith on it, which I think is really sweet. So I'm wearing that for now. Also a pendant with Christ on the cross, and also a Bible, which I've not yet tucked into. That's the sort of thing I have to write into my calendar to remember to read X amount of pages per day. So I'm going to read some of that. And there's always something to be learned from something, whether it's a story, scientific information, a documentary, anecdote, hearsay, history. We can always learn something. And I think being cut off from all these different elements of living a human existence can be quite damaging. I think there's more benefit to be had from at least looking at these things. Yeah, she also sent me some bone broth, and I believe one or two other gifts. A stone, which is, I believe, quite personal. I think something else. There's something. I think it's a charm or something. But yeah, lovely lady. So I had a great interview of her, and I went into my personal history, and we went deep in that one. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I'll share it on my YouTube community tab page when it is uploaded and sent out. It might be January, I don't know. But whenever it comes out, I'll share it across my usual platforms. Outside of that, I did a podcast just a couple of hours ago with Max. I'm going to butcher his name. I believe it's Max Hillmer. He's the low carb consultant on YouTube or on Instagram, so check him out. I mean, he's doing lots of interviews at the moment, which is quite cool. So I've had some people on. He's had some people on that I think, you know, it's just absolute geniuses where you sort of think, God, this guy's got so much information. You just want to tuck in, you just get an hour to listen to it, and you're like, oh, I've got this question. So I find when you find people like that, it's quite motivating for me to find the answer and learn a bit, you know. Always more to learn. And I talked about my training, autism, symptoms like that, my pain condition, a little bit about what makes me me and my goals in life and what I hope to achieve. So check that one out. It might be out in January, I believe, but there'll be probably reels and mini shorts and things spread throughout here and there before that point. I'm also collaborating with the lovely Rob Goodwin in, I think it's 2 weeks' time. I think, don't quote me, I think it's the 2nd of January, but I may be wrong. But it'll be, I believe, on a Friday, 2 weeks from now, something like that. So yeah, we're going to do another sit down with, hopefully I've got a better setup so you guys can actually hear me a bit better as I am now, and go through lots of training, diet, PED, supplement stuff, recovery stuff. Hopefully give you guys a bit more help through that means. So now I'm at the point where I've made every YouTube video I hope to make that's relevant to my field of interest at this current time. Not that I know everything and I've put all the information out there, but I think I've got enough where if someone asks me a question about carnivore bodybuilding, I can substantiate my claims, at least for a video which explains something. So I'm quite happy to be at that point now. Yeah, these live streams will be as frequent as I can possibly muster. I believe I've got a question here, so apologies for the ramble. I'm going to go on to the next segment. So I'm just going through these as they come up on my screen, guys, so just so you know. When it comes to the show for me in July, will I be continuing what I am currently doing, or will you have me go for a prep? So basically, there's no defined limit of how long this is versus that is. There is obviously a point where you say, okay, we're going to redirect from maybe recompositioning to going to a fat loss phase, in which case the first initial change would be through the diet. And we know that diet facilitates roughly, I don't know, depends who you ask, 15-20%, sorry, about 80 to 85% of the body composition outcomes that you hope to achieve through diet. The rest of it is training, supplements, maybe, PEDs, maybe. It depends what you do and what your approach is. But yeah, so the biggest lever is the biggest pebble, which is the biggest rock, which is the biggest mountain, which is the diet. So the diet will be the first thing to be adjusted, and that's usually just a case of keeping protein the same, dropping fat by maybe, depends how big the person is, 10-15 grams, something like that. Watch the body do its thing, see if the scale weight drops or not. And if it doesn't drop, okay, how high is the food? Are they hungry yet? Are they thinking about food? How's their mentality towards the diet? They're like ready to go. Okay, we'll throw in a few low days here. So maybe non-training days, maybe on a Friday or a Saturday, say, look, we're going to do, I don't know, drop fats to 60 grams for one day. Run that for a week, but have the same baseline diet. There's a million one ways to do it. There's not the best way to do it until you've had the experience and know how to sort of get to the end point without ruining all your muscle mass that you might have gained over the off season. But yeah, then the training would of course change. Usually a case of maintaining strength as best as possible, keeping a close handle on your recovery metrics, then decreasing volume, starting at the point where you think that the training is becoming deleterious. You're not recovering it. Your joints getting sore, you're getting too tired, things like that. So you might be, say you have 4 workouts per week and each workout is 10 sets. But say you've got, I don't know, great quads. Say you're doing, I don't know, quads twice a week with 4 sets, but they're quite a fatiguing body part to do. You don't need bigger quads really, perhaps if that's a person. You drop off a set twice per week. So you drop 2 sets off. Run a week, how's recovery doing? Well, I feel a bit better actually, yeah. A bit less tightness, this sort of thing. That's basically how you do it. But it's not, there's no hard rules. That's a good gist of what a lot of people would be doing anyway. Florence said, I just wanted to tell you that at first I was a bit skeptical about the recommendation to train less and do only 2 sets. So this is another client of mine. But I've already put into practice and I feel really good. I went from 65.9 to 61.5. I started about 10 days ago. Yeah, so this lovely young lady, the lady from Argentina, so Florence, yeah. I might call her Flo, I don't know. I have to ask her what she's comfortable with. It's her choice at the end of the day. But yeah, she's already dropped something like 4.4 kilos of inflammation and probably some body fat as well, just through reducing her output. So I like to get people healthy first. If I can visually see on someone, your knees are inflamed, your lower back's inflamed, you look tired. You know, I can pick up a lot from someone how they look. If I'm given the opportunity to really study like how their visuals are, then yeah, she is inflamed. She's doing less, and now she's feeling better for it. And imagine walking around with, say, 4 kilos less in your body than what it needs to have for a whole year. You know, that's something like maybe 5%, 6, 7, well, maybe 7% of that lady's total body weight just gone straight off the bat after like 10 days. She's going to live longer for it. Her heart's going to improve for it. She's got more freed up mitochondrial capacity to deal with illness if she gets anything like that. Her brain's going to work better. Her cognition's going to be better. So yeah, I'm all for it. I'm glad to hear it. I'm not remotely surprised. I'm still waiting for supplements to arrive. Your recommendations were a total success, and I'm really excited to see everything I can achieve for the strategy. Brilliant. Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm allowed to share really, because it's obviously personal information, but you suffer with sort of similar sort of conditions to me. So I recommended some things which would be helpful. The correct sort of doses relative to body weight, how her symptoms present, and with the best research I could possibly find. And she's had a benefit already, so I'm happy to see that. She's had a great experience already by the sounds of it. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Florence. I appreciate that very much. If you ever want to come on here and you can, if you're able to speak, you want to come on up here and do a podcast with me, let me know. We can share some ideas and talk about carnivore diet training and stuff like that. And if you want me to ever do any sort of video critiques, I can always chuck them on the screen here and go through that way. Then it helps lots of people. You know, I'm all for helping people as best as I can, as long as my brain doesn't fry too much from doing it. But I love seeing training footage, so yeah, that might be helpful to people to see. Anyway, I think that's it for now. Yeah, guys, if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll go over my diet approach. So I've had slightly slower digestion recently. I think my body is just accumulating this extra off-season weight, and it's just slow. So sometimes it's best just to pull back a bit. So I've reduced fat to 180 grams per day from 200. And I've prioritized sleep a lot more. So I'm like having naps whenever my body feels like it. Reducing some of the PED load slightly. So basically, I say PED. I'm drinking less coffee and caffeine and stuff. Or at least if I'm having it, it's because I need it to get through a workout, not because I think it's good or helpful or peppy sort of thing. So I'm more conscious of that. Reducing training frequency slightly, so pushing back my sessions. Effectively, it means I'm pushing back my sessions by 2 days. So I've got a bit more to recover between each workout. But it's not that I've not been recovering in that sense. It's that my body is a bit tired of all the food, but my weight is going up and my strength is going up fast. So it's almost like I need to pull the brakes to say, like, yeah, don't snap yourself up. So give my body a good refresh and incorporate the new training methodology, which is using more sort of isometric contraction sort of stuff, really. Yeah, it's been very fruitful so far. Really, really good. So yeah, other than that, the diet, I'm reducing my beef intake from about 1.4 kilos down to about half of that. So effectively what I'm going to be doing now is, rather than having 4 meals of roast beef brisket with whatever else I have of each meal, it's going to be more of a case of doing 2 beef meals, meal 1 and meal 3, for example. Maybe a chicken meal, poultry meal, a lamb meal, maybe. Then the last meal might be salmon and eggs or something, or I'll make some sort of carnivore ice cream. So something digest quickly. So when I go to bed, it's not sat in my stomach sort of thing. That's what I like to do. Salmon digests really well, really efficiently for me. So, and eggs as well, so that'd work probably. Not many eggs. I still get immune flare-ups if I have too many eggs. I can do about 3, maybe 4 a day. But yeah, it's been a long time since my 12 eggs a day. Yes, but anyway. Right. This chat is quiet, so I'm wondering if this has actually gone out to the audience properly, because I've not done many live streams recently at all. Maybe I've been on about 3 and I've posted like 1 or 2. So maybe it's YouTube's not sussed out what I'm trying to do yet, which is talk to people and help people with stuff and promote my stuff and give people an idea of what it is to follow a proper carnivore diet and do pretty well at it. Ideally, that's my intention. What else we got? Haha, let me practice my English and I'll be giving my testimony. Cool, yeah, appreciate it, Florence. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll do very well just by very simple minor changes. You know, you've built a lot of muscle as it is, doing whatever you're doing. I can see how, obviously, when we sort of collaborated, we spoke about your diet and stuff and supplements and what you're doing. And there's not a lot you're doing wrong. It's not like you've done something you've completely fucked it. Because oftentimes when I work with people new or consult people, you look at what they're doing. They're like, right, you're eating this little food with that much exercise, and then you've got this complicated program, but then your diet's really simple and everything's like a mismatch. Like, it doesn't seem to make sense. But there's not a lot you're doing wrong, honestly. So yeah, good on you, honestly. I appreciate that. That says, Kimberly said, I find that I get the best workout when I eat Greek yogurt and protein before I work out. Maybe, yeah, it's quite smooth. It digests pretty well. Depends on how much you can tolerate in terms of dairy. But we got to think as well as you're eating near enough a liquid meal, near enough. So it's not going to sit in your stomach for very long. There's calcium in it, which is great for muscle contractions. Also, it depends how long before to see if before you work out you have the dairy to assess if you're going to benefit from the calcium within it or not. Because, you know, it still takes time to digest it, etc. But yeah, I always found that in the past, like a medium to smallish meal. I think what I used to like raw eggs, Greek yogurt, and protein powder or something like that, and it went down a treat. Real simple, real easy. But, yeah, I'm finding now as a bigger athlete, I'm needing more electrolytes. So that means I'm eating more meat by default. I'm actually adding on Keto Pro, Richard Smith's electrolytes on top of that. So yeah, it does seem once your body's in a certain position or health state or certain level of musculature or output expenditure, whatever you want to call it, some of these things become more crucial than what you'd think. It's like this idea, like, oh, just eat meat and salt and fat to satiety and you'll be fine. So that wouldn't really work for me because my body would pack up before I could eat enough meat to fulfill my nutrient requirements. You know, so that's why, you know, you add in your eggs, you blend stuff up to make an ice cream, like, I don't know, whey, eggs, and gelatin or something. You know, you have to sort of reinvent the wheel a little bit. And what I'm doing is not something anyone else has done before, like tried to gain extreme muscle mass on a carnivore diet. Yeah, there are bodybuilders that have probably done it. And there's, you know, Sean Baker's big guy, Anthony, muscular, fit, big guy. But what I'm trying to do is way beyond that. Like my fat-free mass index is way beyond theirs already, sort of thing. So no one else has done it, you know. So that's my kind of standpoint. But I mean, if anyone's going to test it out to see what can be achieved, it's going to be me. I wrote the book on it, literally. That's in my website, by the way. It's under carnivore-muscle.com. It's called Beef Up. It's called like Beef Up Bible, something like that. It's like $8, guys. And it's got more information in that than most carnivore books online. And you know, it comes from a place of experience, both practical, clinical, and philosophical experience, what it's worth. So yeah, definitely check that one out. Hello, Simpson, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. I'm glad that it actually has come through and you've managed to find this notification for this to come up. So I don't know why, but I've had a very quiet chat today. I've been rambling at this camera for just over 30 minutes, apparently. I'm not as good as Rick, so I can't sit here and talk for 7 hours straight. No. A little sip. Okay. That book is wonderful. Yeah, it's good. The only thing I don't like about it is how it's just the formatting of it. It's not hard to read. It's well structured. It's got the contents page. It's got a few pictures. Yeah, but I'd love it to be like formatted better, like in an actual book sort of format. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. But you know, I'm in a process of writing another. Well, I've written about 3 books already. Since the summer. I'm always tempted just to make one big one and just sell it at like a fair price. Just be like, look, this is everything I know. This is all I got, you know. But yeah, I'm looking at one at the moment which incorporates everything related to me. So if anyone took anything from my story, it would be autism, CRPS, pain, injuries, recovery, training, biohacks, body composition stuff, medical science stuff, biochemistry. The idea is it'd cover everything, so you could just read it and be like, I know what I need to know. Anything else beyond this is just semantics. Yeah, no, I guess sorry. No one is like Rick. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, he's very unique. He's very individual. He's very hard to dislike. But yeah, we just so everyone knows that's listening to this, or maybe listening back on the replay. Rick's going to be collaborating with me tomorrow. Very exciting, at 1 p.m. UK time. So if you're in the US, that's going to be like your morning time, maybe 8-9 a.m. If you're somewhere else, it's not that time. So there we go. Yeah, it's 1 p.m. UK time. So suss it out, guys. You know, from there. And if you go onto my channel, you actually see the live streams like airing soon or premiering soon or something. But yeah, we'll be doing live. So I'll be hosting it on here. He will be as well and sharing it to his audience. Yeah, what else is there to say? It'll be an hour. Well, I'll be on there for about an hour, maybe a bit longer if I feel up to it. My spine's not wrecked. I've already been sat here today for 2 hours and I'm screaming inside. Yeah, then Rick will be on for his usual 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, whatever it happens to be. And I'm sure he'll make it an opportune time for people that follow or collaborate with him to hop on the stream as well. So that'd be cool. Absolutely. When would you recommend PEDs or something? Okay. When would I recommend PEDs in someone's journey? Let's just say bodybuilding for the sake of it. Let me sort of know if that makes sense. I think there's an additional here. Is there a wellness women's division in the UK? There is, and actually, my friend Brittany Soriano, she was my massage therapist at one point, so I moved out of the area. She's a wellness competitor and she's a pro. So her name's Britt Soriano. Dark hair, big legs, muscular stuff like that. Cool. Yeah, she's very impressive physique. When would you recommend someone to take PEDs? I guess the question. Or depends who. I don't know. The thing is, if I talk about this, I'll get my channel banned, so I don't really want to say much or too much. I don't know what can be said. I can provide maybe 2 hypothetical examples. So let's go with a lady in her mid-40s. She had children, and she wants to compete as, I don't know, a wellness competitor or figure or physique. Personally, I think they're more useful to be competitive against more muscular categories. So the more advanced or muscular the competitor category is, the more indicated someone might be. So if a women's bodybuilder was using Anavar and Clenbuterol, hypothetically, you might find the bikini girl on the other side of the spectrum, so the very skinny, slim, less muscular one, might only use Clenbuterol. I'm not an expert when it comes to women's PEDs, so it's not much help in that regard. But yeah, it'd be based on their goals, what they're trying to achieve, their maturity as well, like their understanding of, okay, I've had enough side effects, I need to back off now. Be more conscious of things like blood work as well. Yeah, it's a massive spectrum of things that they could use. Another example, a young male, 20 years old, wants to have a better physique but isn't really sure if they want to do bodybuilding. Don't take them. If you're not sure if you want to compete on stage as a bodybuilder, unless you have a medical reason to need these things, I would not advise or suggest that they used PEDs at all. It's not that I'm trying to say they should be gate kept. I think everyone should be able to make their own decisions, but it's subjective. It's theological. It's ideological. There's no way that I know that a 20-year-old can think, yeah, I'm going to take PEDs and see what happens. I might not compete. But then it turns out 10 years later, he absolutely loves it and he competes because he took PEDs. Now he's Mr. Olympia. Now he's earning loads of money. It's all based on how you feel as a person, the risks you're willing to take, but also understand that there are a lot more riskier things to take out there, guys. A lot more. PEDs typically aren't the thing that kill people. It's an associative factor, obviously. The problem with PEDs is they allow you to increase your body weight dramatically. More body weight means more strain in the heart, which means greater level of left ventricular hypertrophy, which means more unnecessarily large tissues with a higher mitochondrial density will therefore be used up, which means you've got less ATP available for other things, such as using your brain, digestion, things like that. Then you're not pulling the body apart from all cylinders just to build muscle. And me saying that sounds very contradictory, because like, what do I do then? Well, because I love it and I feel better for doing it. So there we go. I love the experimental side of it as well in terms of like the analysis. How was the healthiest way to do this? What do I need to check? Like, what will this yield in terms of that? You know. But yeah, I'm an interesting science experiment. I'm sure lots of other people are as well. But I think you should do it safely. You should get the blood checked at least every 3 months. The main things people need to look out for are heart damage, kidney damage, and liver damage. Of course, other than obvious things like correct aspiration technique and things like that, if they're using an injectable substance. So yeah, it's a lot to go into, but a person watching this will be best served by actually consulting with someone that knows what they're talking about, and not going onto Reddit, for example. Yeah, I'll leave that segment there, but I think you got the picture. Basically, it depends. And one thing I won't do morally is I won't coach a competitor to compete in a natural federation if they're using PEDs, full stop. And I don't care who it is. No. Because when I've competed naturally, I was natural. When I've competed enhanced, I was competing in enhanced categories. And if anything, I'd want to make it harder for myself because I enjoy the challenge. For example, the last 2 years, I've been competing as a disabled bodybuilder and doing quite well against people that aren't disabled. So I don't need to change my standards up until this year, where I want to be competing against people like for like, just because I realized I can't keep up with people with a better capacity than I have. You know, because it's not a genetic thing for me. We've all got good and bad genetics of our physiques and stuff, and strength levels and things, recovery. But it's just I want to compete against people that live the way I do. So I know if I beat them, it's just because I worked that a little bit harder, rather than, you know, losing a show because another guy can do 20,000 steps and I can only do 3,000 or something like that. It's like, look, I can't have worked harder. There's no, you know, it's like glass ceiling effect. Like how a female might not want to work for someone that only lets women work to this sort of level of income. It's like, what's the point? It's not fun. There's no experiment to it. There's no trial and error. There's no bridge. There's no, oh, I can do better sort of thing. You're just stuck. That's what I'd hate. Yeah, and she also wants to stay natural as well, which is good for you. Fair enough. Yeah, I think a lot of women out there that are going through certain periods of time in their life should certainly look at using medically approved interventions to improve their well-being. That's what I personally think, but that obviously has to be monitored carefully with someone's healthcare provider. So that's what I'd say in that regard. What about things like creatine treatment of sarcopenia in the elderly? What would you recommend? Creatine is one of the cheapest supplements that does something. It doesn't do the things that people are kind of say it does. If that makes sense. What do people say about creatine that it does do? Okay. They said about 15-20 grams a day improves your cognitive function. Yes, correct, true. They said about 5 grams improves exercise performance and strength in top end range intensity. Yes, true. Creatine is good for reducing bone loss and maintaining muscle tissue. Yeah, true. However, first point, if you ever tried having 20 grams of creatine a day, you'll shit yourself, or a lot of people do. So that's one limitation of that aspect. 2, which goes to the top end strength. Yes, the top end strength. Most people don't train to a level that requires top end strength. So if you're sat there fanning around doing 3 sets of 10, not even one set is close to failure in terms of like you can't lift it anymore and move the weight, you're not utilizing enough of the substrate system, resource, whatever you want to call it, that requires that level of intensity to be able to perform the function. For example, like the sprinting. If it's like saying, oh, eating a donut before a race is good for sprinting, only if you actually sprint now. Then you're giving yourself 2 donuts. It's pointless. You're not going to get the extra benefit, you know? I don't know why I said donuts, but do you get the picture? There's no benefit to creatine unless you're utilizing it in the way it's been studied to benefit people. Now, I think the third thing I'd mention on that one was sarcopenia and improving bone density. Yes, it does, but part of that's because they usually use it alongside training. So it's like you take creatine on its own, it'll do a bit. Benefits overall, a bit of benefit. Take creatine plus training, you'll get an exponentially larger, greater benefit. So that's where it seems to help people more so than, oh, my nan's 94, she's reduced muscle mass, she's got sarcopenia, osteopenia, whatever. She should take 10 grams of creatine a day. No, it's probably not going to do much. It's probably going to upset her guts more than the benefits you get cognitively from it anyway. So there's lots of different supplements. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions about supplements, ask them away. It's been quite a while since I've recapped. So, hello DC, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you joining. Actually, it's probably quite early in the morning for you over there. But, nicely done. And I enjoyed your chat recently with Joff. He's been quite quiet recently. I hope he's well. We've got a quack in the house. Just to remind you guys, so tomorrow at 1 p.m. UK time, Rick and I'll be live streaming together after the 1-year anniversary of his first live stream on the Carnivore space, which was with me. So I thought be a nice opportunity. So he's going to be on this platform, so he needs to set up his StreamYard to stream to his audience like now, not like tomorrow because it might not work. Set up a thumbnail, whatever he wants, and we'll be collaborating together. Trying to press some buttons there, guys. Apologies. I'm really trying. There you go. I feel so silly. I was listening and forgot like a comment again. Yeah. We sorted that one out the other day. I read this twice, DC. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, my face was shook when I saw that message. I was like, oh, that's probably a mistake. Hello. Oh, what are we doing? I need to suss out the it's the way my screen's set up. It's, you know, like some boxes are too big and the arrows are in the wrong place. You can't click it because something else in the way. You're like scrolling, it's not getting the right bit. Yeah. Amen. Yes. The best part is I get to be online again with my #1 Carnivore Bodybuilder. Excellent. Thank you very much. Looking forward to that. Yeah, set up the stream, Rick, when you're good. Cheers, Kimberly. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to head off in about 5-10 minutes. She got me for 5 to 10 minutes more, then I'm going home. I'm going back to bed. Yes, I'm hoping to set up my live now while I have free time. Yeah. Oh, I thought your name was Simpson. I'm very wise, aren't I? I might see if I've got a button to press on here, so bear with me.
Carnivore Optimized. This isn't just an ebook, it's a call to arms. This is a radical blueprint for those who refuse to bow to the modern health crisis. It's built on ancestral truth, forged in pain, and written by Jonathan Griffiths, autistic athlete, spine disease warrior, and founder of Carnivore Muscle. This 80-plus page guide dismantles the lies we've been sold and hands the power back to you. You'll learn why meat heals and fake food harms, how to restore energy, hormones, and focus, strength training without burnout, tools to beat fatigue, gut issues, and brain fog, how to stay strong in a weak world. Every purchase is a stand against the globalist agenda, fueling a movement to return health, power, and freedom back to the people. Rebuild yourself. Reclaim your fire. Own your biology. Download now.
Absolutely, definitely do that. Don't not do it. All right. Do I have to set this up? And Rick, you have done this with multiple channels before that aren't my channel. You click on the link I sent you, and there's at the top there's a button that says stream this to your audience. Click that. It'll get you to sign into YouTube. Then on the day, you type your name in, click enter, enter studio, and that's it. You might have to type in like title and description or something. I don't know, but yeah, whatever. You literally just click on the link. It's nothing really that odd. Yeah. Cheers for question. So, what supplements do you think give you more bank for buck, brother? I've not got my list to hand. I'd say what helps me the most is in like if I was to trapped on a desert island, you can only take, I don't know, say 5 supplements with me, like infinite amounts. Is like what I could just take forever. Probably wouldn't be vitamin D if it's a sunny island. It'd probably be magnesium threonate. It would be omega-3, just because I'm pretty crap at fishing. I wouldn't last very long. Omega-3 with a fridge to keep it unoxidized, not rancid. Taurine to help stay hydrated. God, that's tricky. It's got omega-3, taurine, magnesium, acetyl L-carnitine for autism symptoms, heart health, antioxidant, and cognition, energy production. Probably N-acetylcysteine as well. But it would honestly depend on the situation. You know, if I was living in a moldy house, I don't know, and everyone that lived there before like went to hospital because they had some sort of like lung infections or something. Yeah, my supplement protocol can be different. But like as I am right now, that's probably what I'd say. Yeah. But I mean, it depends if you're looking at longevity versus exercise as well, like training. So if I said training, it'd be Test, Clen, Anavar, Masteron. I don't know. They're not supplements, guys. Don't take those, they're bad for you. Answer to both. My brother gave me the name Sim when I was a child. Oh, sweet. I see my doctor on Monday for blood work. I'll have them draw the labs recommended. I'll share them when I get results. Nice one. Very good. I'm having my Christmas this year is being celebrated on Monday the 22nd, which is quite cool. On the 25th we'll have a Christmas Day with families as well. Yes, for some reason when I clicked the link after you sent it, there was no link at the top to stream to my channel. I don't know, I can't see it, unfortunately. So Rob couldn't make it tonight, so on as many of the things that I posted, I think it's in the description as well. Rob had some important matters to tend to, completely out of his control. It's personal. It might not be personal stuff. It's nothing like terrible. It does like health or anything, but he just couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. But we're gonna do another one in about 2 weeks, I think. I think it works out the same time and day, but 2 weeks down the line. So I think Friday the 2nd of January, I think, will be the one that we're doing. Typing under red light though. Yeah. Yeah, I've got my little, that's why I'm keeping my room lit. I've got a ring light here, which I just try to not look at too much, if at all. I've got a red light panel as well. So yeah, I'll probably be lining that later to make my hips and spine not feel like they're corroding under me. Right, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to head off in about, say, 5 minutes, unless you guys start asking stuff. Sensible questions. I won't charge you a penny for them either. Not one. I'm going to listen back to this later, and I'll probably think, oh, the sound quality is rubbish, but I don't know. I don't really want the microphone too close to my face because it gets a bit annoying sometimes. But the way I've got it set up is that I could have it like here, but then it just tends to fall down a lot just because of the angle of everything. So it's all right here for now, though. It works. It works fine. That's good to hear. Yeah, that's a relief. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is directly wired into a wall, which goes to a tube outside, which goes downstairs, which goes to the Wi-Fi box. So it's my setup right now is as good as it can get, bar my 4K webcam, not webcam, professional camera thing. Yeah, the audio is good. That's good too. Yes, I've got, because basically with microphones, you want it to be close to your body, but not so close that it bangs. Like, as in, like, obviously you hit it. Or if when you're speaking, it's very dum dum dum. Like, it's hell enough to hear that. Some microphones are different. Mine's more multi-use, so you could sing with it. You could have it far away from you, but it is very sensitive microphone. For example, if I recorded this microphone, say I close a window, and say my stepdad and my mum were having a conversation outside the back of the house, or the front of the house, in the garden with the door open, I could hear everything they say word for word easily. It's an extremely sensitive microphone. But it does pick up the nuance of the voice. So if you listen to me speaking this microphone versus, say, the traditional Shure X7 microphone, whatever else you seems to use, this is more accurate to my actual voice. Because if you listen to those ones, the voice is like too smooth. It's like, it doesn't sound right. You know, like people have certain voices, it doesn't. What a training goal. So I have no real training goals other than that which would facilitate more muscle mass. So I'm a bodybuilder first and foremost. So my first goal is to win my first show. Second is to win the second one. Third is to qualify for the finals and win that one. Then the other finals in a different federation, win that one. So yeah, I'm going for four wins this year. That's what I'm aiming for. Then I might scoop up another one or two wins alongside that if I can. But you don't know if these guys, it's very competitive here in the UK. It's not like the US or whatever. It's like, I'd say the top 6 in the UK would easily beat any new IFBB pro, easy in the US, like no sweat at all. The thing is, obviously, it's the travel. If you're not a known name, you don't really even get looked at in the call out, so you almost have to like earn your way up, which is frustrating. Yeah, I'm not saying I could be a pro, but I think I've got a good chance of winning some big shows this year. I use a very unique mic setup. Yeah, yours actually usually sounds pretty good. Like, I never have an issue with yours. Not too tinny, not too fuddy, not too loud. Just the right sort of. Yeah, I think you probably, when you've got a good voice, so you probably stick any microphone in front of you, and you'd make the microphone sound good, sort of thing. yeah. I'll get back to the last question. What was training goals? Other than that, I guess the training goal is to be able to train like as much as I can, like to the point I still enjoy it. I'm looking at a hernia surgery maybe 8-9 months from now, something like that. So yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't interfere too much with my competition preps and things. Other than that, all my updates will be posted online, like health wise, anything and absolutely anything to do with my health. That's important that people might want to know. It will be shared online. Other than that, I'm just waiting. Still, as Park K will say, still. All right, on the head off now. It's been a very quiet chat tonight, guys, but I do appreciate everyone that's come on. So that would include Kimberly, Juliet, Florencia, Zbigniew, Simpson, DC, and Rick. I think that's it. Still. Cheers, DC. Catch up soon. Now my setup's a bit better, sort of thing. I can't sit here for long. Maybe like an hour is my cap, but yeah, it's at least I can sit up somewhat now. But I'm gonna have to get more padding, I think. So I bought some more pillows recently. So anyway, have a good one, you too, and have a lovely weekend, everyone else. See you soon. Cheers. Have a good rest. Take care.